Nice.
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 You realize my car, my dollar, right?
Found $1?
$62, $63, $64, $65, $66, $67, $78, $79, oh, that's what I need. Defensive alignment. Before I stinking forget. Wirt. Who's at third base for us? For the Comets? Yeah.
Who? Third base is probably Brown.
So Morris is the designated hitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Brown at third. Yeah, and I was looking at the game log though, and some of the scores were just brutal. I mean, losing's bad enough, but just getting shellacked like that, that's rough.
Good afternoon and welcome to Comet Field on the campus of Contra Costa College in San Diego, California. This is Frank Terry, voice of the Comets, getting ready to bring you Bay Valley Conference action as the Mendocino College Eagles meet your Contra Costa College Comets. In just a moment, we'll have the starting lineups for both teams. Pitcher and designated hitter, number 21, Carter Koch. Batting third and playing center field, number 25, Malik. Batting third and playing right field, number 3, Morgan Edwards. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 27, Joe Brazil. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 11, Isaiah Moore. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 33, James Wirt. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 7, Dillon Williams. And batting ninth and catching, number 18, Tyler Carrasco. Coach of the Mendocino College Eagles, Matt Gordon. Mendocino 10-10. Conference 14-16 overall. They beat Contra Costa yesterday at Mendocino and Ukiah 9-1.
So 7-6 and 9-1 last 2 days.
Well, yeah, we played Kenyatta. We played Mendocino here Tuesday. They won 6-3. We played Kenyatta in the makeup game on Wednesday because we were supposed to play them Monday and got written down. And now the starting lineup for your Contra Costa College baseball Comets. Leading off and playing center field, number 1, Darius Foster. Batting second and playing left field, number 27, Mychael Jamison. Batting third and playing second base, number 4, Bryan Perez. And batting fourth and playing shortstop, number 6, Abbas. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 12, Jungbluth. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 28, Ike Brown. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 17, Jalen Morris. Batting eighth and catching, number 22, Rito Gomez. And batting ninth, playing right field, number 5, Josh Hamilton. Pitcher today for Contra Costa is number 24, Dean Jones. Contra Costa 5-15 in the Bay Valley Conference, 5-30 overall. They're coached by Bryan. And yesterday in Mendocino they lost 9-1. Dimensions of Contra Costa: Contra Field, 300 down the left field line, 327 down the right field line, 345 to left field, 411 to right field, and 400 to dead away center. Mendocino will be in blue and gold new rolls. He has it on with the Eastern thing on the phone.
Frank, say your last name for me again. I always have a cat.
Corporate support service. My teacher, she's 50. I said, you're 55 going on 50. She's not lying. Like past 8 years ago. She's very close. We're supposed to get a coach. Yeah, I think it's something that's possible. And everybody's got a horse to one game, so we'd be here Tuesday. Then I can rest on Sunday.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it was going to be like basketball, where if you win the thing, you get that automatic berth, but to the NCAAs, but not so.
Basketball. I went to that St. Mary's. I met Coach Bennett at the St. Mary's lodge party when they got into the tournament. Then Villanova knocked them out.
Conversation is live. Because you're my
someone up here to run the scoreboard, please. Thank you.
Appreciate you. How we doing?
It was before me. It's way before my time. I wasn't even expecting my dad's What year was 25? Yeah. Go, pick it up. What do I play?
And starting pitcher number 24,
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Comets Field here in San Pablo. Anthony Schultz along with you on Bay Area Sports.tv. Comets playing out the string here, and today taking on the Eagles. Going to play a little home and home series, interrupted by one game, but just about ready to go. And the Eagles are going to send up Haden, Keller, and it'll be Carter, Koch, Malik, Morgan, Edwards, Joe Bryant, Isaiah Moore, James Wirt, Dillon Williams, and then Tyler Carrasco. So Keller, Koch, and Bond has started off here in the first defensively for you. For the Comets, as we are just about to get underway, Jamison, Foster, Hamilton in the outfield, and the first pitch is just a bit high. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Brown, Abbas, Perez, Jungbluth, third to first in the infield. Gomez behind the plate. And the next pitch from Dean Jones looked like a breaking ball in there. A strike, and the count 1-1. And so the standings for the Comets. Been a rough year here for Contra Costa. 5-15, 5 up, 30 down overall. Here's one sent to right field. Hamilton giving chase, still going back, gets there ahead of the track, and he hauls it in for out number 1. That ball appeared to be hit pretty well, but Hamilton playing a very short right field, had to go well back on that ball, but he was there in good shape, and that's out number 1. So for Mendo, 10-10 on the regular season, 15 up, 16 down for them overall. Mendo coming in at 4th in the Bay Valley. So Keller flies out. Here's Koch. He takes ball 1. Keller a fly to right. And now Carter Koch pitching today, also plays some first base. And he takes low ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. There you see Dean Jones, the right-hander. Now he comes set, and the pitch swing, and this one lifted toward the air to left. Going back under his Jamison, he hauls it in. So quickly 2 up and 2 down. A nice start here to the first inning here for Dean Jones.
Batting third, number 25.
We'll have the conference tournament coming up here next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. All 8 teams in the Bay Valley going to be involved. There's the first pitch to Malik Bond, and that one is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. So a fly to right, fly to left. 2 out, bases empty for Bond, who takes a fastball that just misses, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Bond trying to keep it alive for Edwards. This one a bit low, and the count goes 2 balls and a strike. Had a chance to talk a little bit about Comets baseball earlier in the week, and there will be some changes coming next year, of course, as to 2-year schools, constantly evolving roster. They tell me they've got some very talented red shirts coming in. Here's the pitch, and that one is low, ball 4. So Bond has worked himself out a walk, and here comes Morgan Edwards. Nice numbers for Morgan Edwards. And Morgan, 15 doubles on the season. And he's among the RBI leaders as well. Morgan actually number 1, 36 RBIs overall, along with 4 home runs. Bond getting a pretty good lead over there at first base, and Dean Jones paying a little attention as he tosses over. Get the chance to see Darius Foster lead off the bottom of the first. There goes the runner. The pitch is low and gets away, and it's going to be a stolen base for Malik Bond. So he steals one here, and he's in scoring position now for Edwards. Sometimes these innings start so innocently with first couple of men out, but can you get that third out? Now a chance for a 2-out RBI here for the Eagles. There's Jones, a look back at second. And the pitch. That misses inside. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Walking around the ballpark here a little bit earlier, and it was bright and sunny. Came into the booth, and then all of a sudden it was windy. 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch is going to be a little tapper to short. Abbas has got it over to first to Jungbluth, and that'll do it. So the Comets yield a base hit, a stolen base, but that's all for the Eagles in the top half of the first base. Top half of the first. We'll go to the bottom of the first. No score for the Eagles. Comets coming up. All right, bottom of the first we go for the Comets. It'll be Foster, Jamison, and Perez. Abbas, Jungbluth, Ike Brown, Morris, Rito Gomez, and Hamilton. And defensively for the Eagles, left to right in the outfield, Keller, Bond, Edwards, and third to first in the infield, Brazil, Moore, Wirt, and Williams. Carrasco behind the plate, and Carter, Koch on the mound. The right-hander had quite a bit of success this year, comes in with a record of 4-2, and a good fastball and a good breaking ball, and also one of the top hitters on the team as well. So no score for the Eagles in the top of the first, and a chance now for the Comets to jump out ahead. And here's Darius Foster, who's, well, you don't want to see him get on base if you're the opposition. 32 stolen bases out of 36 attempts. That is an incredible ratio. Here's the pitch, swing, and a pop foul and out of play. And really, if you look around the major leagues, the stolen base, kind of a lost art in baseball these days. And I saw earlier this week that Billy Hamilton, one of the very good base stealers, there's a breaking ball in there for a called strike 3, and that is out number 1. And to Billy Hamilton, who had been with the Cincinnati Reds and a guy who stole a high number of bases. He's now with the Kansas City Royals. But you just one of those things that's kind of gone by the wayside. And you still see it occasionally, but not a huge part of an offense's arsenal. Here's a little tapper out to the mound. Koch's got it. Flips on to Williams at first base, and quickly 2 up and 2 down. So Mychael Jamison not up there very long, and he is out number 2 as he bounces out 1-3. All right, here's Bryan Perez, the second baseman. He'll try to keep it alive for the shortstop. And cleanup man Lucas Abbas, first pitch. Breaking ball a bit low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Talk a little bit more about those red shirts that'll be moving in for the Comets as we move on. Here's a little tapper towards short. Moore's got it on a big hop. Over to first in time. And a 1-2-3 first inning as Perez bounces out 6-3. So Koch gets him 1-2-3 in the first. We'll go to the second inning. No score from San Pablo.
Contra Costa College, nothing. Mendocino College, nothing. First inning completed in 10 minutes. Next week will be the Bay Valley Conference non-conference tournament from the 23rd through the 25th. Possibility of the game here Tuesday. Check your CCCAsports.org website for further information.
All right, top of the second we go. Bryan. It'll be Brazil, Moore, and Ritten. Should anybody reach, would get a chance to see the first baseman, Dillon Williams. No score here from San Pablo. Just getting underway for the final regular season ball game of the season. I told you about those playoffs coming up in that conference tournament. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. And the count, 0-1. Not like the NCAAs. If you win your conference tournament, you get that automatic berth into the NCAA big dance. Not so here in junior college baseball. Here's the pitch, and that one's hit hard into center field. Going back on it is Foster. He settles under, makes the catch, and 1 out. So a nice start to this game for both pitchers. Koch facing the minimum in the first, and so far 4 of the 5 batters retired here by Dean Jones. And looking at the game log for the Comets, you know that has not always been the case. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. And their overall team ERA very high this year. And they've just experienced some of those ball games where outs were just tough to come by. Next pitch is misses, 2 balls and no strikes. And here's Isaiah Moore, hits this one toward left, and that's a foul ball. Count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. So Brazil, a fly out to center field. So far, 3 fly ball outs, 1 ground out. And Isaiah Moore trying to reach here with 1 out in the second. That pitch misses outside. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one. Swinging this one toward third. Hot shot. Nice pickup by Brown over there. And off to Jungbluth for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up the second baseman, James Wirt.
Number 33, second baseman James Wirt.
So it's actually James Wirt, W-I-R-T. He stands in there, nobody aboard, 2 down. And lefty waiting. Dean Jones off to a good start. You look at that overall team ERA. It is not pretty for the Comets. That one is low for a ball, so certainly good to see some of these guys get outs on a regular basis, try to make it a 1-2-3 inning, and Wirt takes inside and low, and the count goes now 3 balls and no strikes as he tries to keep it alive for Dillon Williams. .30 pitch, fastball in there, a strike, and Wirt taking all the way. And the 3-1, another fastball. This one off to left field. Hit pretty well. It's going to get over the fence, but well foul. Kind of a, I guess you'd say a 9-iron slice that time. And the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, check swing. And boy, let's get out of the way over there in the Comets dugout. Kind of scatters the crowd over there. Take another look, and really it looked like it was probably ball 4 to Wirt. All right, another payoff pitch, and here it is. That one hit hard into right field. That one is going to get down. That will be a base hit. And Hamilton over there to pick it up and play it back to the infield. And that'll be the first hit of the ball game for either team, as Wirt reaches on the base hit to right field, and here is the first baseman, Dillon Williams. The 9th place hitter and catcher, Carrasco, would be next if Williams could keep it alive. So you'd figure with the 9th place hitter up there, this would not be a steal situation, but he's going anyway. Pitches in there for a strike. Throw down is going to go into center field. And Wirt's going to hold on there, and he's got himself a stolen base. Normally you see it with a DH or even with the pitcher spot. The 8th place hitter, if he's on board, usually will not try to steal you. You're trying to clear that 9th spot, but not so here for Mendocino. And here's one hit to left field, and this one is going to be well foul. Jamison giving chase over there, but he can't get to it, and the count no balls and 2 strikes to Dillon Williams. So another RBI chance here for the Eagles. They did get a 2-out walk and a stolen base from Malik in the first. And he was left there when Brazil flew out to center field in the inning. Or pardon me, when Edwards grounded to short to end the inning. Brazil ended up leading off the second. All right, D. Jones in a mini jam here again. The 1-2 pitch, big breaking ball that sails away, and the count goes 2-2. Boy, that one had some nice breaking action on it. And Dillon Williams, even with 2 strikes, able to hold off. It's a good look there at Wirt at second base. Next pitch, fastball grounded up the middle. That's going to be through for a base hit. And here comes the first run of the ball game. There will be no throw. So Wirt after 2 are out, gets a base hit, steals a base, and Williams picks him up with the RBI base hit. And just like that, the Eagles lead the Comets 1-0.
Batting ninth, number 18, catcher Carrasco.
Now here's Carrasco, 9th place hitter. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball. That is up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Williams going to hold on there at second base. And after the first 2 are out, 3 straight base hits along with the stolen base. And the Eagles have got something going here in the first, already 1 in.
Batter number 22, left fielder Haden Keller.
So back to the top of the order for Haden Keller. He flew out to right field his first time, swings and fouls this one off, and the count goes no balls and 1 strike. Now, in all fairness to Dean Jones, those last balls not hit all that hard, but able to find some room into center field. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be popped up on the infield left side. Brown gives way to Abbas, who makes the catch, and the inning is over, but the Eagles do get a run on an RBI base hit by Dillon Williams that scores James Wirt. And with that, the Eagles, after 1.5, have themselves a 1-0 lead. We'll be back to San Pablo in just a moment.
Little help. Any help, dude? Brad, are you watching?
Nothing comes before coffee.
My glasses are fogging. Dude, are you mad at me?
That's why we've got a whole line of espresso drinks from McCafe. Cafe quality from beans to espresso machines. Try the new chocolatey caramel iced turtle macchiato.
Look, swole, man. I felt swollen. Swole, not swollen. What?
So that second inning started off well enough for Dean Jones. He was able to get Brazil on a flyout, Moore on a ground out, but Rit got himself a base hit, stole a base. Williams got himself a base hit to drive him in, and then Carrasco another base hit, and finally got Keller to pop to short to end the inning, but 3 hits picked up and an RBI for the Eagles in the second. And as we go to the bottom of the second inning, the Eagles leading it here 1-0, and Koch's first pitch just misses, and that count goes 1 ball and no strikes. Abbas, Jungbluth, and Brown here in the second, swinging a foul at the plate, and the count goes no balls and 2 strikes. So, Abbas, Jungbluth, and Brown. Should anybody reach more, it's the DH would get a shot. There's a fastball just up a little bit. Or was that called a strike? I thought that was a ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count. This one popped up on the right side. Second baseman Wirt calling for it. Ranges over on the edge of the infield grass, or in the outfield grass rather, to make the catch. So Lucas Abbas out number 1, and that'll bring up the first baseman Ben Jungbluth.
Batting fifth, number 12, first baseman Ben Jungbluth.
And Frank Butera, our public address announcers. This one is slammed into center field, and on comes the center fielder Bond to make the running catch. So that ball was really hit hard by Ben, but he's going to be outlining it to center field. Boy, he hit that ball hard, right on the screws, as they say. But he is out number one. There's a ground ball to second, right by Wirt, trying to backhand that ball. Unable to do so. Brown is going to reach with the first base runner and first base hit for the Comets. And he comes here with 2 outs and nobody aboard. So Morris, the DH now, will get a chance. So here's Jalen Morris. Anyhow, I was just making the comment about Jungbluth. Frank Butera, the public address announcer, saying Jungbluth. So a little more with the J than I thought. So I'm going to go. Frank got more experience with these players than I do, so I'll go with that. Here's the next pitch, and that is low. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Eagles able to make some 2-out noise in that last half inning. Let's see if the Comets can do likewise here in the bottom of the frame. Here's Koch's pitch, and reaching out for that one, unable to get it, is Morris. And the count goes 1-2. There's a good look at Carter Koch. As he comes set, runner not going, pitch is slammed foul, right side and out of play. Good look, that's over toward the softball field where the ladies had a game going earlier today. 1-2 pitch again, fastball away, and the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Morris trying to keep it going here for Rito Gomez, the catcher. And that pitch is low, gets away, but not far enough from Carrasco. And Ike Brown just going to stay put. There's B.J. Gwynn. Coaching over there at first base, the skipper of the team. There goes the runner. The pitch is fouled away. So seeing both teams trying to manufacture runs, and I certainly like to see that part of the game. If you can steal your way into scoring position, there goes the runner. And of course, that was a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, and you're forced. Not a whole lot of strategy behind that. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So Morris strikes out to end the inning. The Comets do get their first base runner on the Brown base hit, but he gets no further. And after 2 full here from San Pablo, it's the Eagles 1, Comets nothing. All right, 3rd inning of work coming up here for D. Jones. Comets trail now 1-0. Koch, Bond, and Morgan Edwards, should anybody reach, would see the 3rd baseman, Joe Bryant, as the Eagles try to add on to their early 1-0 lead. Jones able to get the first two batters in each of the first two innings before yielding some traffic, and Koch takes low for a ball. Matt Gordon, the head man at Mendocino College. Last year the team finished 21-18. That was good for fourth place in the Bay Valley Conference. Here's the pitch inside for a ball, and the count goes 2-0. Matt Gordon from Ukiah, went to Ukiah High School, also an alumni of Mendocino College. Played back here in the early to mid 90s. Next pitch inside for a ball. Goes 92 through 94. He was a utility guy, played some outfield. Started coaching in Mendo back in 03. 3-0 pitch, Koch taking, and then actually it's going to be in there for a strike. And Carter had flipped the bat away, and he was ready to take his base. The umpire says, "Come on back, young man. 3 balls and 1 strike." There's a good look at Carter, and the pitch to him. That one's up high, and he does work out the walk. Second walk of the game by D. Jones. This one to lead off the inning. So a little early in the inning with some traffic here for the Eagles. So Koch flew to left his first time, gets a walk here. And here's Malik Bond, who walked and stole a base and then was stranded at second base back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Looks like he's getting a pretty good lead over there. Jungbluth holding him on. Another throw back over to first base. A couple of stolen bases already here for Mendocino. Let's see if they try to go again. Here's the pitch to Bond. Swung on, hit into center field, but not very deep. Over comes Foster. He'll give way to Hamilton out in right center. Hamilton makes the catch for out number 1 here in the second inning. So Bond fly out to right field. Morgan Edwards, who bounced to short back in the first inning, he's 0 for 1. He'll try to keep things alive for Joe Bryant. And throw back over to first base. Jones, another quick throw over there. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball to third. Nice pickup over there by Brown. Second for 1, back to first. The Comets double play. So the Comets go around the horn, 5-4-1. 5-4-3 rather, and the inning is over. So the Comets get the twin killing, and that'll do it for the top of the third. As we go to the bottom of the third, it's Eagles 1, Comets nothing.
La nueva Quarter Pounder con carne fresca ha dejado a Pachito sin palabras. Por eso Luis Fonsi va a hablar por él.
Es más caliente, más jugoso y como está cocinado al minuto que ordenas, está brutal.
La nueva hamburguesa Quarter Pounder de McDonald's con 100% carne fresca.
right, moving right along here in this one. Bottom of the third we go. Bottom part of the order here for the Comets. Gomez, Hamilton, and then back to the top of the order for Darius, Foster. Jamison, the left fielder, due up fourth in the inning if we get that far. So far, just one hit and 2 innings allowed by Carter Koch. First pitch there to Gomez. In there for a strike in the count, 0-1. Koch from that windup. The next one misses inside. The count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. A little bit early to tell yet, but starting to develop into a pitcher's duel. Here's one slap to right field. That's going to be a base hit. Picked up quickly by the right fielder. Ends up throwing the ball to first base. And Edwards trying to throw out Williams, unable to do so. Playing a very short right field over there. And that'll bring up Josh Hamilton. So Gomez picks up a base hit. That is the second base hit allowed by Koch. Brown had one in the second, and now one here by Gomez in the third. And Josh Hamilton, the right fielder, bats here. And squares the bunt, puts one down. The third baseman, Brazil, going to field it over to first, his only play. So the sacrifice successful. And there's going to be one out now. And on the play, Gomez moves up to second base, representing the tying run. So Darius, we told you about his stolen bases, so you know he can run. Left-handed batter, and then of course, you know, batting from that left-hander's batter's box and just swinging the bat gives you that extra step and a half going toward first base. So always a threat to bunt. Not bunting here. Swings and fouls it straight back. It looked like he was on that last pitch. Count, no balls and a strike. Well, I'd like to see Foster, who stole 6 bases. 6 for 6 in a ball game a couple of days ago. So he's the guy that's just tearing it up on the base paths. Left-handed batter waits. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side, foul. And the count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Anthony Schultz with you here. Bay Area Sports.tv streaming for Contra Costa College baseball as they wind down the 2019 regular season. There's a good look at Darius. 0-2 pitch. Checks his swing. Takes low. And a good stop that time by Carrasco. And able to keep Gomez aboard there at second base. So Gomez, the leadoff base hit. Hamilton, a sacrifice bunt. Foster trying to pick him up and even things up here in the home half of the third. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul straight back again. And that's a couple of times now. Foster has really been on that fastball. And just getting a piece, but when you see that ball come backwards like that with authority, you know the hitter just missed it. Swing and a miss. Missed by a lot this time. Or did he get a piece? No. Foster out on strikes. Well, that is a strikeout for Koch. Big strikeout there as he gets out number 2. And Gomez still there at second base. Third strikeout of the game for Carter Koch. And he's gotten Foster twice. He got Jalen Morris in the second. So 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third so far for Carter. Here's the pitch. This one popped in the infield. Wirt, and now it's going to be the shortstop Moore on the first base side of second to take it for the out, so that'll do it. So the Comets get another runner to second base, but they get him no further. And after 3 full here from San Pablo, It's the visitors, the Mendocino Eagles, with the lead, 1-0.
Three innings completed in 39 minutes.
Nice.
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 That is nice.
Honey, look, it's not $1 anymore.
Found $1? That's the price of a sausage McMuffin. Enjoy more favorites on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
Comets and Eagles, thank you.
Okay, moving right along here. Top of the fourth we go. Eagles with a 1-0 lead. Bryan, Moore, Wirt, and Williams due to bat fourth here in the inning. Should we get that far? A nice outing so far here for Dean Jones. And Frank Butera, the public address announcer, said these first three innings took just 39 minutes. Typical baseball game, 9-inning baseball game, goes about 3 hours. So let me do the math. I can't do math, but anyway, that's pretty fast. So far the pitcher's in control, but still early. And the next pitch from Jones, swinging a ground ball to third. Brown's got it over there at the hot corner. A bit of a high throw. Jungbluth able to pull it down, and quickly there's out number one here in the top of the fourth inning. So that's Brazil bouncing out to third base. So he's out 5-3. Keep calling him Bryan. It's actually Joe Brazil. Brazil like the country. And here's Isaiah Moore now. Nobody aboard and one out. First pitch high and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Talking a little bit about Coach Gordon over there for the Comets. The 1-0 pitch, fastball into left field, hit very well. That's going to be a base hit for Isaiah Moore. And Coach Gordon, the full-time athletic director over at Mendocino, and this is going to be just a one-year thing for him. They will have a new coach in next year for Mendocino. So Wednesday, the Comets jumped out to that 3-run lead. There's a throwback over there to first base. But Mendo came back with 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Ended up getting the win in that ball game. Brazil had a big 2-out, 2 RBI single in that game. Well, that was Tuesday. Here's the pitch. That's up high. Snap throw back over to first base. Not in time. Do tell me Carter Koch is the ace of this Eagles staff, and he's pitched like it so far. He's got himself a 1-0 lead, and so far for the Comets, 3 zeros put up. There goes the run. The pitch is slammed into right field. Going back, Hamilton coming over in foul territory. Hamilton going to make the catch. And that ball looked like it was hit pretty hard, but 327 down the line. And Hamilton, where he was actually coming across the field and not really going back. Initially, I thought that ball was hit much harder by Wirt. But a long run for Hamilton, but he's able to get there. So Wirt flies out to right for out number 2. Moore remains at first base. There goes the runner, pitches outside, and the throw down is... Oh, what a play. Caught, and then the tag by Abbas, the shortstop, and they are going to throw out the runner to end the inning. What a play by the defense. Let's take another look. Pitch was actually called to strike, and look at that play. Coming off the bat, going to his left was Perez over there at second, was Abbas, the shortstop, and then able to apply the tag on Wirt, onto Moore rather, to get the out and end the inning. Nicely done. To the bottom of the 4th we go. It's still a 1-0 Eagles lead.
That's the price of any size McCafe brewed coffee. Enjoy more favorites on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's. Erica isn't famous, but she had her order brought to her car using mobile order and pay. So now she feels like she is. Order like you're famous with the McDonald's app. Order on your time, pick up on your terms.
Leading off for Contra Costa at the bottom of the 4th. Second baseman, number 4, Bryan.
All right, so after that great play by Abbas to end the last half inning, the Comets come up here trailing 1-0. First pitch fouled away by Perez. But Perez, the way he was able to come off the bag, take the throw from the catcher, and then make that sweeping tag to end the inning. Very nicely done by Bryan, and he'll have a chance to lead off the inning here. Takes the next pitch in there for a strike, and the count 0-2. Quickly the 0-2 pitch, checks his swing. Going to say he went around. Ball came out of the catcher's glove, and we'll take care of that as Carrasco throws him out at first base, and that'll be a strikeout. So Perez strikes out leading off the 4th, and that'll bring up Lucas Abbas. So pardon me again, it was actually Abbas, the shortstop, who made that play that I was talking about, not Perez, the second baseman. Here's that pitch that's in there for a strike. So Abbas up there right now after that great defensive play. He popped to the second baseman leading off the second inning. He's 0-for-1. Fouls this one away. Jungbluth would be next. Koch with the windup. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul left side. And the count goes no balls and 2 strikes. So Carter Koch, strikeout so far, 4 total. And so far 1 in each inning, and there's a called strike 3 there. So Abbas strikes out. That's the first strikeout looking. All the other 3 on swings. 5th strikeout in the game, 2nd of the inning. And Jungbluth will bat here with nobody aboard and 2 down. Koch ready again. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. So Jungbluth, who lined out to center, hit the ball hard. It was a nice play by Bond to record the out. Next pitch is low, count 1-2, or we'll make that 1-1. Koch looks like he's getting even a little bit stronger here as the game goes on. Right-hander looks in. He's ready. All together with Carrasco now. This one slammed to the first baseman over there on the right side. Williams is going to catch it. Boy, that looked like it was headed down the right field line to be a double. And right now, Ben Jungbluth a bit snake bit. He's hit the ball hard twice. Nothing to show for it. Comets done here in the fourth. To the top of the fifth we go. 1-0 in favor of the Eagles.
4 innings completed in 50 minutes.
All right, top of the fifth we go. Williams, Carrasco back to the top of the order for Haden, Keller. Pitcher's duel here from San Pablo. Another inning of work here for Dean Jones, and the pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. But here's Williams up there. He's got himself an RBI base hit. That was back in the second. And so far, folks, that's been it. Big swing and a miss. It looked like Jones took something off of that pitch, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a look at Dean. 5th inning of work for him. Just the 1 run allowed. Scoreboard, a lot of zeros so far. Here's the pitch swung and popped up, and that one's going to get back and out of play. First baseman Jungbluth kind of giving that a bit of a token look, but no chance over there for him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Williams leading off the inning. Moving right along here from San Pablo on what's turned out to be a windy day. Here's swinging a ground ball, slow roller. Brown's got it on the hop, throws to first. Nice play. Oh, I didn't think Brown had a chance to make that play. He had to come a long way in from third, but was able to pick up that little hop. Take a look at it here. Boy, play the hop nicely, and then on the run with the accurate throw. And that will take care of Dillon Williams for out number 1. And here's the 9th place hitter, Tyler Carrasco, and he'll bat nobody aboard and 1 down. So we're seeing some nice defense from the Comet. This ball is launched way back, but it's going to be playable out there for Jamison. Boy, that ball looked like it was really struck well by Carrasco, and boy, Jamison went back on that ball, and boy, he had nothing but room. Ball looked like it really jumped off the bat, and then didn't seem to really go anywhere, and the wind has been kind of blowing in toward home plate. May have knocked that one down a little bit, but that's out number 2. Back to the top of the order for Haden, Keller, and he takes outside for a ball. So Williams out 5-3 on the nice play by Brown. Carrasco flies to left. And the next one to Keller is inside for a ball, and the count goes 2-0. Carrasco flew out to right his first time. Swings and grounds this one up the middle for a base hit. So 2 out base hits have been coming here for the Comets. One of them turned into an RBI. That was Wirt knocking in Isaiah Moore back in the second for the only run of the game. So Keller comes up with a base hit. And here comes Carter Koch. There's a throw over to first base. Carter Koch does have some home run pop. Look at the home run leaders for the Bay Valley. Mendocino, Bond, Brazil, Edwards all had 4. Contra Costa, Perez came into today's action with 3. Next pitch, swung on, lifted in the air to left. Brown going out, and Brown with his back to the infield makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Brown. Boy, really flashing the leather over there at third base. And this one running away from the infield, back completely to the infield, makes the over-the-head catch. What a play by Brown to end the inning. And after 4.5 as we go to the bottom of the 5th, it's the Eagles still with a 1-0 lead. He's going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Made a nice play on that slow roller to third. And then on that last pop-up into left field, made a great play. Fouls this one off. And the count 0-1 to Ike. But you hardly see that kind of a play from an infielder going back away from the infield. Here's the pitch. Brown takes in there a strike, and the count 0-2, and that came with 2 outs and a runner on. So more than likely would have been at least runner at second and third if Brown doesn't make that catch. This one a bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the pitching and the defense been very good here for the Comets, but well, they've got to find a way to get something going against Carter Koch. Here's the pitch. Brown takes low. And the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Brown, Morris, Gomez here in the home half of the 5th. Koch winds, fires, and the 2-2 pitch just a bit low. And the count goes full now, 3-2. Now the team ERA very high for the Comets, but so far so good here today. Ground ball to short, And this is going to be misplayed and on into left field. That is going to be, I believe, an error on Moore. It looked like he should have had that one, unable to make that play. So Isaiah Moore going to let one get away, and I think they're going to call that one E6. Of course, I'm not the official scorer, so it's officially unofficial. And now squaring to bunt, trying to put one down and fouling it back is Jalen Morris. And, well, halfway through the ball game here, folks, you got no runs. Really get a runner, a leadoff runner aboard, and right away you're looking just to move him into scoring position. Brown waits. This one bunted foul up the line at first base. So Morris down in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Carter Koch came in with a record of 4.2 ERA in the 3s. He's seeing that tumble here today, but leadoff man is on here in the 5th. Big swing and a miss and a bender. That one looked like it had some downward movement to it. So Morris not able to get the sacrifice down, ends up striking out. And boy, strikeout number 6, at least 1 in each inning for Koch. He had 2 in the 4th. Here's Gomez. He's got himself a base hit. That was leading off the 3rd. And the pitch to Rito is outside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Hamilton would be next. And then back to the top of the order for Darius Foster. Right-handed batter waits. There goes the runner. The pitch is going to hit the batter. So Gomez is going to reach on the hit by pitch. So E6 off the bat of Brown. Morris the strikeout. Gomez is hit by 1. He ends up wearing it right on his left shoulder, so he's going to be aboard at first base. So runners at first and second here with 1 out. So Hamilton will bat a chance to tie this game here for the Comets with a base hit. And hopefully for Contra Costa a chance to take the lead here in the inning. Couple of hits for the Comets. They got 1 from Brown in the 2nd, 1 from Gomez in the 3rd, and that's been it. Next pitch is low. Carter Koch has not walked anybody so far. But he's in a bit of a jam here with just 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hamilton waits, swinging. This one is into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Here comes Brown around 3rd. Here comes the throw. They're not going to cut it off. Brown's going to score. We are tied up. Runner around to 3rd base, and with 1 in to tie up the ball game, the Comets have them cornered here with just 1 out in the 5th.
Batter number 1, center fielder Darius Foster.
So it started with the E6 off the bat of Brown, and it's Josh Hamilton able to deliver the RBI base hit, and just like that, we are all tied at 1. So here comes Darius Foster. Runners at first and 3rd. The infield looks for the double play. This one fouled off left side. Will that stay in play? No. It's well fouled down the left side, wide of the 3rd base line. And the count, no balls and a strike. So what we tell you about Foster and all those stolen bases, he's going to be a very difficult guy to double up. So the middle infielder's pinched a little bit towards second base. There's a throw over to first. And runner back in on time. So Hamilton picks up that RBI single. You wonder if he wouldn't try to steal second base. The 0-1 pitch instead, a throw over to first. Carter Koch right now thinking the same thing. Paying close attention over there to Hamilton. That was a pretty good looking move over there to first. Carter out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swing. Ground ball to second. Could be two. Second for one. And that's all they're going to get. And the Comets going to get the go-ahead run here. It was a ground ball to second. You're thinking double play, but with Darius Foster's speed, no way. So the Comets able to pick up the second run here in the innings. Foster's going to get the RBI ground out, and just like that, it's 2-1 in favor of Contra Costa. And folks, we're going to get a chance to see Darius Foster steal second base. Jamison up there now. He's 0 for 2. Foster with a pretty nice lead over there, not going. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. So for Foster, picks up the RBI as the play went second to shortstop. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there, a strike. And the count goes 0-2 here to Mychael Jamison. So a 4-6 RBI ground out, and that's how the Comets take the lead. Ground ball to short. And actually a little bit of a liner there. Soft line drive to the shortstop. Moore makes the catch there, and that'll do it. So an error is costly here to the Eagles. And then the RBI ground out by Foster. And at the end of 5 innings here from San Pablo, it's the home team now. The Comets ahead 2-1.
Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we've got a whole line of espresso drinks from McCafe. Cafe quality from beans to espresso machines. And now introducing the new chocolatey caramel iced turtle macchiato.
All right, top of the 6th we go. Malik Bond, Morgan Edwards, Joe Brazil, middle part of the order here to face Dean Jones. And Jones all of a sudden finding himself with the lead, 2-1. Pitch, and that one is low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So Carter Koch coming in as one of the leading hitters on the team. He and this offense is going to find a way to get at least one more. And you look at the numbers and you'd say, the Comets give up so many you wouldn't have thought you were coming into a pitcher's duel, but that's what it's turned into. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. So for Bond, stolen base. After he walked back in the first, he was stranded there when Edwards grounded out to shortstop. And then Malik flew out to right field. That was in the 3rd, so officially 0 for 1 for Malik. 3 balls, 1 strike here, leading off the 6th. 2-1 in favor of the Comets. Jones ready again, and the next pitch is low. And that is a 5-pitch walk over there to start the inning. So Bond is aboard. He's got his second walk of the ball game. 3 walks now yielded by Dean Jones. And here comes Morgan Edwards. Morgan DH also plays some right field. Leading the conference in RBIs coming in. And that pitch up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And 6 pitches so far. 5 of them have not found the strike zone. Boy, Coach Quinn, he's taking a slow walk out there toward the mound. Now, I cannot see into the bullpen. I'm not sure if anybody had been warming up or not. But it's getting to that point of the ball game, and let's see if in fact the Comets are bringing the hook with them here. Conversation taking a while here, which would suggest that he's not coming out of the game, and that is the case. Dean going to stay in the ball game, and sometimes the skipper comes out there to talk to the pitcher with every intention of making a change, and the pitcher will talk him out of it. I'm not sure if that's what happened here or not, but Dean Jones going to stay in the ball game here. All right, nobody out, 1 aboard. Potential tying run here for the Eagles as they look to even things up. Good high fastball, big swing and a miss there. And the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. There goes the runner. Here's the pitches outside. Throw down is not in time. This one's going to skip into center field, but not far enough for the runner to advance. So Malik Bond is going to pick himself up his 2nd stolen base of the game, and he's in scoring position right now with nobody out. Take a look there. Boy, these outfielders do not play very deep. That ball gets to the outfield. They are right on it. Next pitch, and that one is low. Was that ball 3? Yes, it was. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Morgan Edwards. Runner in scoring position for him. And the pitch, and that just does miss. Not by much. And that is the 2nd walk of the inning. So that'll bring up Joe Brazil. Joe Brazil, Morgan, will top in the league in home runs with 4 coming into today's play. They are on base here to start the 6th. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball. Could be 2 to second for 1. Back to first, and that's a Comets double play. 2nd one of the game for the guys from San Pablo, and it couldn't have come at a better time. So how about that? 2 walks to start the inning. Then you get the 6-4-3 double play. Runner goes over to 3rd. But now 2 outs. So Brazil comes up and he bounces into the double play, and now 2 down here for Isaiah Moore. And this one is hit into left field, and Jamison is there. He's going to make the catch, and that will do it. So 2 walks in the inning. Runner gets to 3rd and no further. So the Eagles unable to score here in the 6th. To the bottom of the frame we go. It's the Comets over the Eagles, 2-1.
Score: Contra Costa College 2, Mendocino College 1. on the conference screen. Tuesday through Thursday, next week. Check your CCAAsports.org website for matchups. Possibility of being here on Tuesday. Check the website for all matchups. Off of the sixth. Second baseman, number 4, Bryan Perez.
All right, bottom of the sixth we go. Perez, Abbas, Jungbluth, middle part of the order to face Carter Koch, who finds himself trailing in the ball game. Looked like they had a great chance to tie or take the lead in that last frame, but a huge double play ground ball induced by Dean Jones. The key to getting out of that last half inning. Here's the next pitch that misses. Count 2 balls and no strikes. And if you look at the team ERA for Contra Costa, I told you it was high. Folks, coming into today's play, it was over 9.6. Here's the pitch. That one is low. So they were giving up a lot of runs. And Mendoz is not particularly good. They're over 5. And Laney at 4. Marin at about 4.5. There's another one in there for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. So it kind of gives you an idea that, well, they score some runs in this league, folks. Ground ball to short. That is going to be into left field, a base hit. Diving attempt there by Moore, the shortstop. But, boy, you talk about a ball having eyes. That was right between the third baseman, Brazil, and the shortstop, Moore. And the Comets have the leadoff hitter on here in the 6th as Perez picks up his first base hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Lucas Abbas. Abbas, kind of a late square, pulls back. Throw back to the pitcher, gets away, but Johnny on the spot is Wirt to pick it up. So there's Perez aboard there at first base. And Abbas trying to keep the line moving and then takes low here for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Not a bad play here to try to get that runner into scoring position. Runs been tough to come by. Just 3 so far. 9 hits overall. Next pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1-5-1 so far for the Eagles. 2-4-0. Therefore, Contra Costa. Koch ready from the stretch. Here's the pitch. There's the bunt up the first baseline. That is going to be foul. And the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. And at times, the runs have been tough to come by for Contra Costa. You look at their team batting average, just .213 overall with a .306 on base percentage. And boy, that one nearly hit Abbas last time. He just did turn away and keep from wearing that one on his left shoulder. Probably saying in that Comet dugout, take one for the team. Easier said than done. That's going to be ball 4. So nice eye that time by Lucas Abbas, and he works out a walk. He is on base for the first time. He had been 0 for 2 as he popped his second and then lined, or popped to second and then struck out. Now here's Ben Jungbluth, the first baseman, and boy, he has hit the ball hard twice. Lined out to center in the second, lined to the first baseman in the 4th. And that one he lined to first baseman back in the 4th. That one looked like it was extra bases down that right field line. So he's been the snake bit guy so far, and let's see if third time's a charm for him. All right, runners at first and second, nobody out. A base hit for Perez, a walk for Abbas. Carter Koch in some more trouble here in the sixth, already trailing by a run. Eagles now looking for that double play. Runner squares to bunt, and this one bunted toward third and goes foul. So it was Abbas who was trying to bunt Perez over, and that actually worked into the Comets' favor as he ended up with the walk, so he's aboard at first base. And this one is going to be picked up by the first baseman, and the sacrifice is going to be good. So a nice job there by Ben. Guy in the middle part of the order hit the ball hard twice, but in a situation like this, 2-1 ball game, you're going to ask him to sacrifice, and he does it well. So runners to second and third, and now the Comets a chance to pick up another run. Here's Ike Brown, a chance to pick up two with a base hit, or maybe just one with a sacrifice fly, and the Eagles are going to bring in the infield. And now that's going to be an intentional walk here to load the bases. And I'm wondering here, as Morris comes in, are they going to keep the infield in? They are. So an intentional walk here to Brown.
Number 17, designated hitter, Jalen Morris.
Here's Jalen Morris. He struck out a couple of times here today. Chance here with the bases loaded and one out. He chops this one. This is going to be a tough play. It's going to be just foul up along third. Boy, that turned out well for the Eagles. Brazil was charging, and if that ball had stayed fair, I don't know that he had a play anywhere. Even with the infield playing in and Brazil playing on the edge of the infield grass inside of that cutout over there, I still don't think you would have had a play on the runner coming home. Perez aboard there at third base. Here's the next pitch. That's outside. And the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. So Perez let it off. Base hit. Walk to Abbas. Sacrificed by Jungbluth. Intentional walk to Ike Brown. And the 1-1 pitch to Jalen Morris instead. Jalen going to take a little bit of time. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases full of Comets. Here's the pitch. Swing ground ball is short. Picked up over there. They're coming home for 1. That's all they'll get. So a good decision to bring the infield in and load the bases with the intentional walk as the Eagles are able to get the play to home plate and pick up the force. So here comes Gomez now, bats with the bases loaded, but now 2 outs. So Morris, he's out 6-2, and here's the pitch to Gomez, and that's misses for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Rito, a base hit leading off the third, hit by a pitch in the 5th. Officially 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Count goes 2-0. Comets trying to break things open here a little bit. Bay Valley Conference with those high ERAs. This one low here for a ball. Or actually in there for a strike, excuse me. 2 balls and 1 strike. Not used to the pitcher's duels, but that's what we have so far. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Koch, and that's in there for strike 2. Boy, that looked like it was tailing away from the right-handed batter, but apparently just did catch the outside part of the plate. from the windup. The 2-2 pitch, swing, punch into right. That's going to be into right field for a base hit. One run is in. They're going to wave in another run. Here comes a throw. It's cut off the relay, not in time. That is going to be a 2 RBI base hit for the catcher, Rito Gomez. And just like that, the Comets lead it 4-1.
Batter number 5, right fielder Josh Hamilton.
There you see Brown coming in to score that second one. So Rito Gomez coming up with a big 2-out, 2 RBI base hit. And now Josh Hamilton.
No errors. 1 left. At the end of 6 innings.
So they get Hamilton quickly. And that'll end the inning. But the Comets get a couple more runs. And they lead it 4-1. Back to San Pablo with more right after this.
Erica isn't famous, but she had her order brought to her car using mobile order and pay. So now she feels like she is. Order like you're famous with the McDonald's app. Order on your time, pick up on your terms.
All right, so a big inning for the Comets. They pick up a couple of RBIs. And it was Rito Gomez with the big hit, a 2-out, 2 RBI base hit to score a pair. And the Comets lead it 4-1 as we move on here to the top of the 7th inning. And Dean Jones still out there and having himself a fine outing. And here's the pitch. Batter squares the bunt, puts it down. Off the mound is Jones again. Fires to first, but not in time. And that is going to be a bunt base hit by James Wirt to start it off. So the Eagles get the leadoff man on here. And it's a base hit for Wirt. And here comes Dillon Williams. Carrasco would be next. And then barring a double play, back to the top of the order for Haden Keller. Very well executed bunt. Getting late here for the Eagles. Now they find themselves trailing by 3. Here's one punch. That's going to be a little looper into left center field, and that will fall for a base hit. So the first 2 up, first 2 on here for the Eagles in the 7th. So a good answer so far for the Eagles here in the inning after giving up 2 in the last half frame. And Tyler Carrasco will come up 2 on and nobody out. So you'd have to figure the bullpen has been going. I would think getting this late into a ballgame that would be the case. Batter squares the bunt, puts one down. This one going to be foul. So Carrasco willing to give himself up to get a couple of runners in scoring position, even though they don't at this point represent the tying run. Down by 3, but still early enough in the ball game where you certainly would be happy to pick up a couple more here if you're the Eagles. All right, Carrasco waiting. Jones will look back there at second base. He's going to throw over. And the wheels are starting to spin here for Coach Quinn. How long do you stay with Jones? Got Comets first baseman now pinching in over there at first baseman Jungbluth. Expecting a bunt. Brown doing the same over there at third base. Here's the bunt. Brown from third, looks at third, fires over to first. Boy, and a nice play by Perez, the second baseman, covering at first base. Throw was a bit wide to his left, but he was able to skip off the bag, make the catch, all the while keeping his right foot on the bag to make the play. Another look there. It could have been disastrous had he not made that play, but some nice footwork by Perez as the play is made for out number one, and it looks like it's going to be it for Dean Jones. We'll see. Second trip to the mound here for the Comets, and that will be it. Pitching change up coming from San Pablo. Eagles, well, they've got runners at second and third with one out. They've got a threat going. They trail by 3. Top of the seventh from San Pablo. A 3-run lead for Contra Costa.
Now pitching for Contra Costa, number 2, Karon Case.
All right, left-hander Karon Casey has come in here for the Comets to pick up for Dean Jones. 2 men aboard. There was Jones' responsibility, and the first pitch from the left-hander is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Haden Keller had a base hit back in the 5th. He's also popped to short and flown to right. 1 for 3 so far for the left-hander. And he takes low for a ball, and the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 on, 1 out. Dean Jones out of the ball game after a fine outing, and see if he can get some relief help. 2-0 pitch swung on, hit to the right side, foul as it squirts by Jungbluth. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. 7 hits now so far for the Eagles. Comets have 5. But it's the Comets in the category that counts right now. They lead it 4-1 after back-to-back 2-run innings. And the Eagles got their lone run. That was back in the second inning. Here's the pitch, swinging the ground ball, foul, and the count goes 2-2. So Karon Casey trying to pick up for Dean Jones. And here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Ball gets away. Here comes the runner to home, and they're not going to be able to get him. It's going to be a strikeout, but the Eagles are going to get the run, making it 4-2, and the Comets are not going to get the out. So that will officially go as a strikeout, but no out recorded. And I would think it's going to be a pass ball, or maybe if it bounced first, you could even call that a wild pitch. So that did not work out in favor of the Comets at all. So Keller going to be struck out, but with that wild pitch, he is going to be able to reach first base. No RBI will be credited to Haden Keller. But he is on board, and now they make it 4-2 to the Eagles, and they've got him cornered. And still with just one out, here's the pitch, and that's outside for a ball. Tying runs aboard here in the seventh. Eagles looking for an answer, and they've got a bit of an answer so far as they plated one. Here's the next pitch, and that is in there, a strike, and the count goes 1-1. Big spot in the game here. And Casey and the Comets stop the bleeding. The 1-1 pitch swung on, popped up with foul. That'll get out of play, and the count 1-2. So Dean Jones, a nice job starting the ball game here for the Comets. Gave up just that one run in the second inning, and that came on a James Wirt RBI base hit. Chased the runner back there at first base. So Jones gets into the seventh. He did not actually record an out, so officially 6+ for him. He's given up 2 runs so far. Here's the pitch. That's up high for a ball. Now, actually, I'm being told he did record that. That's right, he was. So it will be officially 6 1/3 for Dean. 2 runs yielded so far. The runner at third still his responsibility. This next one misses, so can't quite close the book on him just yet. Six and a third, 2 runs. Let's see if Karon Casey can keep it to just those 2. 3-2 pitch instead of throw to first. Here's the pitch, swung on, and that one dropped by the first baseman. Jungbluth is going to beat the runner to the bag, and I believe he does record the out. So he's going to get the out, but the next runner is going to score to make it 4-3. So that changes the line for Dean Jones and changes the situation on the scoreboard. So it's going to be 4-3. As Carter Koch's going to pick himself up on RBI as he grounds out 3 unassisted. So 2 outs in the inning, and here's Malik with a runner at second base, representing the potential tying run. So Karon Casey comes in, and he inherited a couple of runners, and he allows both of them to score. Does get an out here and a chance now to get out of the inning, all the while with the Comets still leading. Let's see if he can do that. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bond a walk, fly to right, and a walk into stolen base. That last one came in the 6th. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count goes 1-2. A good looking fastball there from Karon. There's a nice look at the young left-hander. I say young, I guess they're all young at this level, aren't they? Casey will look back there at second. Here's the pitch, way outside for a ball. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a 4-3 Comets lead as they've played 2 each in their last 2 innings, but the Eagles getting back up off the deck with 2 runs of their own here in the top of the 7th. That one way outside for a ball. You got Bond up here. You do have first base open. But then you got to face Morgan Edwards. I told you he's got some nice offensive numbers, but you don't actually have to come into the batter here. 3-2 pitch. That's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Casey going to get out of the inning. The Eagles strand the potential tying run at third base. They do pick up 2, however. It's 7th inning stretch time here from San Pablo. Comets lead it 4-3.
2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch, bottom of the 7th inning score. Contra Costa 4, Mendocino College 3.
Hit the ball. He was out at first.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. He was out.
You know who was the guy that put it? Come on, number 1. Brown, wasn't it? Come on, there he is.
So Carter Koch's out of the ball game. He goes 6 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits. He gives way now to right-hander Colin Just. And here's Darius Foster, the leadoff man, to lead it off here in the 7th. 1-run ball game from San Pablo. Big swing and a miss there. And the count 0-1. Pitcher's duel up until the last couple of innings. The Comets in the 5th and 6th played it a couple. In the top of the 7th, the Eagles came back with 2 more. Bunted out by Foster, missed, and the count goes 0-2. So Foster so far, a couple of strikeouts in the 1st, in the 3rd, picked up an RBI on that 4-6 bounce out in the 5th when the Eagles could not turn the double play on the speedy Comet center fielder. Here's a ground ball to first. And that's picked up by Williams, and Foster out 3 unassisted. So officially for Darius, he's got himself an RBI, but he's going to be 0 for 4 for the ball game, and that'll bring up Mychael Jamison.
Batter number 27, left fielder Mychael Jamison.
So Jamison to be followed by Perez. 1 out, nobody aboard. And it's turned into a bullpen game here after being what amounted to a nice pitcher's duel here in the ball game today. First pitch inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors so far for the Comets. 3, 7, and 1 for the Eagles. Swing and a foul. This one will get out of play, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamison so far 0 for 3 in the game. Takes a strike on the outside corner. The left fielder so far today bounced out to the pitcher in the first, popped short in the third, and a soft liner to second. That was back in the 5th. This one misses. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch, and that is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Comets trailed rather after 2-1 to nothing. He finally got off the deck and plated a pair in the 4th, swinging a ground ball to shortstop. Backhanded pickup by Moore, throws wide. The ball gets away, and the Comets are going to end up with a runner at second base with a throwing error, and that'll be E6 again. Second error on the day for Moore over there at second base, or at shortstop.
Number 4, second baseman Bryan Perez.
So Jamison gonna reach, and I guess the question would be, are you gonna give an infield base hit to Jamison? I wouldn't think so. It looked to me like they were gonna get him at first base, or should have had him at first base. So I would say an error all the way. Here's the pitch, and that one bends in there for a strike, and the count, no balls and 1 strike to Perez. Perez got himself a base hit. That was leading off the 6th, struck out in the 4th, bounced short back in the 1st. And the pitch, swing. This one popped in the air, short center field. Shortstop going back out. It's Moore. He falls down, but able to make the catch. Nice play by Moore in short left center field. That would not hit very far. He got back on the edge of the outfield grass, was just able to keep his balance and make the play for out number 1. Jamison has to hold there at second base, and here's Abbas. A walk, a strikeout, and a pop-out so far for Lucas. Here's the pitch to him, swung on in the air to center field, not very deep. Bond is there, comes in, makes the catch. The inning is over. The Eagles get a runner to second base, but no further as we head to the 8th inning. A 4-3 Comets lead.
No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. At the end of 7 innings, Bay Valley Conference and regular season finale. Score: Contra Costa 4, Mendocino 3.
Nice.
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 That is nice.
Honey, look, it's not $1 anymore.
Found $1? That's the price of a sausage McMuffin. Enjoy more favorites on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
La nueva Quarter Pounder con carne fresca ha dejado a Pachito sin palabras. Por eso Luis Fonsi va a hablar por
Es
él.
más caliente, más jugoso y como está cocinado al minuto que ordenas, está brutal.
La nueva hamburguesa Quarter Pounder de McDonald's con 100% carne fresca.
So here's Morgan Edwards to lead her off as we move to the top of the 8th inning. Edwards, Brazil, and Isaiah Moore, the middle part of the order, to face relief pitcher Karon Casey. And the first pitch swung on and missed. Big hack right there, but coming up empty. And the count goes 0-1. 4-3 in favor of the Comets. Getting late here from San Pablo in what's turned out to be a wonderful ball game. Here's the pitch outside for a ball, and the count goes 1-1. So Coach Quinn, you see the wheels been turning a bit. Gone to the bullpen. Next pitch by Casey, the 1-1 foul back to the screen. The count goes 1-2. Coach Quinn, drafted by the A's way back in '83, played some shortstop, minor league affiliates for the A's, Cubs, and White Sox. And the 1-2 pitch, and that one low. Count goes 2-2, and his son BJ had a chance to call some of his games with the Pittsburgh Diamonds of the association, playing out there and playing here in Contra Costa County. Here's the pitch, big swing and a miss, and Karon Casey picks up the strikeout. So Edwards a strikeout victim here to start the 8th, and that'll bring up the third baseman Joe Brazil. I'll tell you, BJ Quinn, his son, had a chance to call his games with there for the Diamonds, and he came up a couple of years ago and played for Pittsburgh. First pitch, and this one fouled straight back, and they just could not get him out. He ended up getting promoted into playing up in the Dakotas, and I understand now he's first base coach for Cal. All right, here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's been fouled back to the screen, and the count goes no balls and 2 strikes. To Joe Brazil, fly out, ground out, hit into a 6-4-3 double play. That was in the 6th. That was a big turning point in the game right there. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, ball gets away. Gomez has it, and he throws him out. Well, the first 2 up, first 2 down here. Nice way to start the 8th for the Comets. Pair of strikeouts for Casey. Here's Isaiah Moore. 1 for 3 so far. He got himself a base hit in the 4th. Then he was caught stealing first pitch outside. And that was that great play by Abbas. When Moore tried to steal second base, the throw was a bit offline on the first base side at second. Abbas able to make the grab and the tag to get the out. That pitch misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casey trying to pick himself up a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch outside for a ball, and the count goes full now, 3-2. As Isaiah trying to keep things alive for James Wirt. Pardon me, 3 balls and no strikes to count. Here's the pitch. In there with the fastball, strike 1. So Coach Quinn playing or drafted by the A's, kind of right in between Billy Ball and the Bashers back in those days. That is going to be ball 4 outside. And the Comets are going to allow the potential tying run to get aboard here with 2 down. So Moore reaches on the walk. And that'll bring up James Wirt. And he's going to bat here with nobody aboard and 2 down. 1 aboard and 2 down. This pitch, nice pickup there. Snap throw over to first. And the runner going to be safe. That was a good looking pickup by Gomez, the catcher. It's going to reach out to his left, and potentially a very big play right there with the potential tying run staying at first instead of being in scoring position. Next pitch, instead of throw to first. You look back at 1983 for the A's, and I think Billy Martin had already departed, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the next pitch. The 1-0 stays very, very high. And the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. And then, of course, a few years later, it was all about the Bash brothers and some of those great teams they had in Oakland. McGuire, Canseco, Dave Parker. 2-0 pitch, and that's outside for a ball. Count goes 3-0. So after striking out the first 2 batters, Karon Casey finds himself in a little bit of a jam here. 3-0 pitch, fastball over the outside part of the plate, and the count goes 3-1. Baseball suffering a couple of losses here to great players. Here's a pitch, swinging a foul. Great old pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers, passed away back in February. Don Newcomb was in his early 90s. Still been part of that Dodger organization. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low, and the runner was going on the 3-2 pitch. Ball is low, and the Eagles are going to get the tying run into scoring position and the potential winning run down to first base.
Batter number 7, first baseman.
And Hall of Famer Frank Robinson also died this year. Watching Reds games, they patch on their shoulder honoring number 20, and of course Frank, a big part of those Orioles teams of the late 60s and 70s, who really were the best team in baseball for a while, and before that a member of the Cincinnati Reds. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Frank Robinson was the first guy to win an MVP in both leagues. You think about some players who've had such big impacts on more than one team, and Frank certainly did. Frank, the first black manager in modern baseball as well. Here's the pitch. That's up high for a ball. And of course, the Nuke, well, he was a member of those boys' summer Dodger teams back in the 40s and the 50s. The 1-0 pitch, and that's way up high. And of course, everybody remembers, or if you follow baseball at all and like that, the history of the game. Don Newcomb was on the mound and then gave way before Bobby Thompson hit that very famous home run back in 1951. Okay. Bit of a struggle here all of a sudden for Karon Casey. And the Comets are going to talk things over here. Casey things started out real well. The strikeout of Edwards, strikeout of Brazil, but he lost more. And now Wirtz worked himself into a 2-0 count. To Karon Casey getting the pep talk from the skipper. Comets trying to get out of the 8th. Contra Costa College 4, Mendocino 3. But that lead in jeopardy right now. Wirt waiting the 2-0. And Casey's delivery, fastball in there, and they count 2 balls and 1 strike. Big moment in the ball game. Two one. Low 3-1. Wind continues to howl. It's been like that the whole game. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and that one misses high and away, ball 4. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning, and then a couple of walks here. And that's going to be the 3rd in a row. I'm sorry, that was Dillon Williams. We got that 3rd walk. Wirt got the 2nd one, so Moore, Wirt, Williams all drawing walks. And Carrasco up there now with the bases juiced. So Casey struck out 3, and now he's walked 3. There's a strike. So Carrasco, a sacrifice bunt his last time. He's got himself a base hit that was back in the 2nd. And, oh, by the way, a fly out to left back in the 5th. Strike 1 pitch, just as missed, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases full of Eagles. Tying run at 3rd, go ahead run at 2nd. Here's the pitch, slap foul, right side and out of play. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Carrasco down in the count to Karon Casey. Nowhere to put him. The 1-2 pitch, swing ground ball right side, and that's going to be played by Jungbluth. He'll beat the runner to the bag, and the inning is over. So the Eagles load the bases on walks, but Karon Casey walking the tightrope, and we are going to go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Comets continue to lead it 4-3.
With the score, Contra Costa College 4, Mendocino College 3. As a reminder, the ABC conference are starting on Tuesday.
Nothing comes before coffee.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
That's why we've got a whole line of espresso drinks from McCafe. Cafe quality from beans to espresso machines. And now introducing the new chocolatey caramel iced turtle macchiato.
All right, bottom of the 8th we go. Here comes Contra Costa after just barely getting out of that inning without a run being scored and able to maintain the lead. Here comes Jungbluth, Brown, and then Jalen Morris. Here's the pitch. That one of Bender stays just a bit high, and the count goes 1 ball and no strikes. Jungbluth really having a good day with the bat, even though he's officially 0 for 2. Fouls this one off, and the count 1-1. He lined the ball hard to center, lined the ball hard to the first baseman. That was back in the 4th. Then he sacrificed That was in the 6th. Next pitch to him, inside for a ball. 2-1. So even though they actually got him those first 2 times, he was really able to square up the baseball. First baseman waits, and the pitch to him popped up. Foul ground right side, and it's going to be on top of the dugout over there. Top of the Eagles dugout. And that'll be strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jungbluth. Brown and Morris to follow. Should anybody reach, we'd see Rito Gomez. Comets looking for win number 6 on this season before they start that conference tournament next week. 2-2 pitch, swing, fouled away, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch, swing, pop, foul, and a good battle going on here between Colin Just and Ben Jungbluth. 2-2 pitch, swing, another foul back. So Jungbluth getting a good look here at Colin Just. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for the Comets to make their 4 runs. And the next one, breaking ball stays inside. And Jungbluth hung right in there as if he knew that pitch was just going to move just to his inside. And now he's worked the count full to 3-2, and the wind just starts blowing harder. Taking that flag out in center field. It's near the batter's eye. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. So a good battle between the two right there. But Colin just wins that battle as he picks up the strikeout. So here comes Ike Brown. Ike Brown, he of 2 very fine plays in this ball game, and here's the pitch to him, and that gets away. Count goes 1 ball and no strikes. Made a nice play on a tapper out toward third base that he played on a hop. Made a nice throw to first base to get the out. Here's the pitch, swinging. This was foul ball. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes, and then on a ball hit to left field, he ran straight back from third base and played that ball directly over his head in short left field, and would have had runners at second and third. Big swing and a miss there, and the count 1-2. So Brown has got himself a base hit. He was also walked intentionally, scored a run, and played well defensively for the Comets here today. Swinging a foul, and the count remains at 1-2. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Looking ahead toward the top of the 9th, it'll be the top of the order for the Eagles. Keller, Koch, and Bond. They'll need at least 1 to tie. This pitch outside for a ball, and the count goes 2-2. And you see how important it is when you look at some statistics, how important it is for a hitter to be ahead in the count. I was really kind of surprised to see just how important it was. This one fouled away. Count stays at 2-2. The batting average difference between a 1-2 count as opposed to a 2-1 count was about 50 points higher. 2-2 pitch, swing, ground ball to short, and Moore's got it over to first in time for out number 2. So Brown is out following the Jungbluth strikeout. 2 outs and nobody aboard, and Jalen Morris, the designated hitter, now will bat, trying to keep things alive for Rito Gomez. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. So it was Koch and Dean Jones who started. Koch ended up 6 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits. He's on the hook for the loss right now. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And Dean Jones ended up going 6 1/3, giving up 3 wins. He's in line to get the win if the Comets can hold on to this one. Next pitch is high for a ball, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-handed batter waits. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Colin just as he picks up a couple of strikeouts. So that will do it for the Comets in the bottom of the 8th. They still do lead at 4-3. Top of the order coming up for the Eagles. They need at least one. 4-3 Comets. All right, a new pitcher into the ball game here for the Comets. It's Mark Jones trying to save it for his brother Dean. And upcoming for the Eagles, it'll be Haden, Keller, Carter, Koch, Malik, Bond, the top of the order. Now as I take a closer look at Mark, the Twins, yes, there is a noticeable resemblance. This game moving right along, and the first pitch, Keller takes in there, a strike in the count, 0-1. Jones, Casey, and now Jones, the 3 pitchers for the Comets, trying to earn themselves a one-run win. Next pitch, and that's inside for a ball. So for the left fielder, Haden, Keller, he flew out in the first, popped to short in the second, base hit in the 5th, and Casey came in and struck him out. That was in the 7th, big swing and a miss there, and the count goes 1-2. Koch waits on deck. Eagles trail by 1. Here's the pitch. That one's hammered into right field. Down the line, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to get past the first baseman, and that is going to be a leadoff double for Haden Keller. So a good way to start off the inning here for the Eagles, as Haden Keller picks up his second hit of the game. And here's Carter Koch. Picked up an RBI when he bounced out 3 unassisted against Casey in the 7th. That made it 4-3. Carter squares the bunt, pulls back, takes a ball, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes Ike Brown moving in from third. There's the bunt. And that one is missed, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Big strikeout situation here for Mark Jones. Koch, one of those guys who Really brings a strong bat, but just trying to get the runner over. He bunts. Jones off the mound to get it. Doesn't even look at third. Throws wide to first base, and everybody's going to be safe. Oh, no. So that will be an error on the pitcher. Koch reaches. It'll be E1 and a sacrifice. So Koch will get credit for the sacrifice. Jones will be tabbed with the error, and everybody's safe. They've got him cornered now. And the middle infield looks for a double play ball, and looks like the Comets would be willing to trade the tying run for 2 outs. Now they take a step in. This one hit into right field. That's going to be good enough to get the run home, and the right fielder falls down. That's Hamilton. 1 run is in. Runners at second and third as the ball is played back to the infield. And that's going to be a double over there to right field. It looked like Hamilton was going to have a chance to make a play, but he made a step going toward the line and lost his footing. It was going to tie the game regardless, but a couple of different plays here where the Comets had a chance to get outs, and they're unable to do so. And now is this one going to be an intentional pass? So Malik Bond going to get the RBI double. And now Morgan Edwards is intentionally walked. And here's Brazil now, as the game is tied and the Comets want to talk this over. You know, everything started when Haden Keller picked up a double. And then you had Carter Koch trying to sacrifice, and there was an error by Jones. RBI double by Malik Bond when the right fielder Hamilton fell down. An intentional walk now to Morgan Edwards. Brazil is going to come up, and we're going to have a pitching change. We'll take timeout. The Eagles have tied it, threatening to take the lead here in the 9th. All right, defensive changes for the Comets. Abbas goes from shortstop. He's now in to pitch. Brown goes third to shortstop. Matt Wise comes into the ball game to play over there at third. So 4th pitcher of the ball game now for the Comets, as this game all of a sudden is tied. Bases full of Eagles. Here's the pitch, and that just does miss. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. Infield pulled in. Well, you can see that middle part of the infield just wide open right now. Big swing and a miss. And there's strike one, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Eagles not only a chance to take the lead, but they got a chance to break it open. 1-1 pitch and swung on. Bouncer toward third. Picked up there by Wise. He comes home for 1 out. That's all they'll get. But that is a big one as they cut down the potential go-ahead run. They pick up the first out. Bases remain loaded. And the score remains tied at 4. So that worked certainly in the Comets' favor. But boy, it's turned into a very tough inning for the Comets there. Another look at it. So Brazil bounces out to third base. And this next pitch is outside for a ball. Isaiah Moore now up there with the bases loaded and 1 down. Here's the pitch, up the middle. Brown's got it, steps on second for 1, back to first, a double play. Third double play turn by the Comets today. They get out of the inning. They give up the tying run, however, but the game is tied 4-4 going to the bottom of the 9th. Boy, the Eagles had a great chance to take the lead and maybe really pile it on, but the Comets able to get out of it. Will go to the bottom of the 9th. From San Pablo, all tied 4 apiece. To the bottom of the 9th we go. It'll be Rito Gomez, Josh Hamilton, bottom part of the order. And then back to the top of the order with Darius Foster. The Comets need a run to win. And a chance to win it there at the top of the 9th, but end up with a blown save for Mark Jones, who's trying to save it for his brother Dean, unable to do so. First pitch misses, 1 ball and no strikes. Comets, who had actually played good defense today. You know, defense didn't go so well there in that top of the 9th inning, but next pitch in there, strike 1-1. But they were able to come back rather nicely and get out of that inning with any more runs scoring. And the pitch, swing, and this one toward left field, and this one is going to get down for a base hit. Keller cuts it off, and it's a leadoff base hit for Rito Gomez. Boy, Rito having a nice day at the plate. Base hit back in the 3rd, 2 RBI base hit in the 6th, and he leads it off with a base hit here in the 9th. So Hamilton comes up. You'd figure a bunt situation for him. Not showing so far. Now he is. Squares, bunts at it, and I believe he fouled it off. Or did he pull back and take it for a ball? Looks like he did pull it back. 1 ball and no strikes. Gomez with his lead over there. Williams holding him on. There's a bunt attempt and miss, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a situation where executing the fundamentals becomes so important. The Comets trying to get that run, the potential winning run, into scoring position. And now Coach Quinn wants to have a word with the right fielder, Josh Hamilton. Had a throwing error from Mark Jones in that last half inning. A double which might have been an out. Hamilton fell down on the ball struck to right field and set the Eagles up, but some fine pitching and a couple of groundouts after Lucas Abbas came into the ball game to get the Eagles here all tied. There's the bunt put down, and that is going to be fielded foul by the third baseman, Brazil. Count goes 1-2. So Hamilton so far unable to put the bunt down. Now with 2 strikes, you wonder, does he try it again or do they let him swing away? Infield looking for the double play. Runner with his lead. The 1-2 pitch. They're going to bunt to third. Looks at second. Back to first. Gets the out. Sacrifice is successful. And now a base hit could win it here for the Comets here in the 9th. Here comes Darius Foster. So Josh Hamilton able to put the sacrifice down. And that is going to be it for Colin Just. Nice job out of the bullpen for him. So he is out of the ball game. Pitching change here from San Pablo. We'll be back to Contra Costa College, all tied at 4.
No mercy.
All right, the new pitcher is Gary Grosjean picking up for Colin Just. So Koch, Just, and now Grosjean. And the Comets, after the base hit by Gomez and the sacrifice by Hamilton, have the potential winning run at second base. Darius so far 0 for 4 with an RBI. Left-handed batter waits, and Grosjean with the pitch, and this one on the outside corner is strike, and the count 0-1. So the Comets trailed 1-0. They led 4-1, but the Eagles have battled back to make it 4-4. Here's the pitch outside for a ball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Grosjean trying to get this one to extra innings. 1-1 pitch, and that one is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. And for Darius Foster trying to pick himself up a base hit, which would give the win to Lucas Abbas. If he can do that, Gomez out there at second base. Wind continues to blow in very hard. Here's the pitch, and that one outside. Trying to frame that one was Carrasco, but the home plate umpire not buying it. 3 balls and a strike. And now they're just going to intentionally put the hitter aboard here, so Darius Foster will be intentionally walked. And Jamison will come up now, and he'll have a chance to win it with a base hit. Here's Jamison. Still have a base open, albeit third base. And just 1 out, and now Grosjean wants Carrasco to go back over the signs. You got a guy out there at second base. You wonder if he's trying to steal those signs. So battery's got to be careful. Here's the pitch, swing, ground ball off the pitcher, recovers, throws to first in time for the out. So Grosjean hasn't come right back to him, juggled momentarily, but recovers in time. Runners do move up to second and third, but now 2 down here in the inning. So the play goes 1-3. Out number 2 is recorded. Here's Bryan Perez. So the Comets do get the potential winning run to third base, but it's going to take some hit or a miscue to score him. Grosjean ready. Here's the pitch, and that one is low for a ball. Now you do have first base open if you're the Eagles, however. I don't know how much you really want to load the bases and have a chance to walk in the winning run. The 1-0 pitch, and that one's inside. 2 balls and no strikes. A 4-4 tie, bottom of the ninth from San Pablo. The Comets trying to close out the 2019 regular season campaign in style. Here's the pitch, and that's low for a ball. 3-0, and now if you're Grosjean, well, no reason to just lay one in there. You do have first base open. I hate to have the bases loaded in this kind of situation. The Comets 1 pitch away from doing that. Here's the pitch, and that one's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Perez, grounded out, struck out, base hit, and he popped to short. That was back in the 7th. 3-1 pitch. Swing, ground ball to third, picked up over there by Brazil, throws to first in time for the out. So a nice play by Brazil, and we will go to extra frames as we head to the 10th, all tied at 4.